I suppose I'm not surprised that the 2025 LEGO Star Wars Mando and Grogu's N-1 Starfighter doesn't look that great, but I am surprised that it took them this long to make. It's set number 75410 with 92 pieces at a retail price that might just scare you, $30. For reference, the full-size build with over 4 times as many pieces only sells for $60, so this set might be a scam. The box art, I believe, depicts the N1 at Pelimoto's shop on Tatooine, but she's not included here. You do get an astromech droid, though, that's exclusive to this set, so that's definitely going to make some people buy this set for $30 that really shouldn't buy this set for $30. Now, the back of the box shows off the N1 and all of its accessories in a very simple way, of course, because this is really geared towards 4-year-olds and maybe grandparents looking at this box, so they want to keep it as simple as possible, and they definitely do that. Cutting into the box now, inside, there's of course no sticker sheet. You do have a couple of numbered bags, and surprisingly 2 instruction manuals given the size of the set. The Mandalorian in Beskar armor figure here is fantastic. It's the best version of Beskar Mando that LEGO makes. I love everything about this figure except for the Darksaber, which I still wish was improved, but it is what it is, I guess. Then we have the Din Djarin face underneath, which also looks great. And yeah, overall, this is clearly a really good figure that has every detail. Next up, we have Grogu, who is the same as we've always seen, but I thought might have gotten redone because of the age rating on this set, and that LEGO might have feared that little kids would try and eat this or something, but clearly that isn't the case, and they just kept the same old Grogu, which is nice enough. Included with him, we have a new pram design that's been made simple so that a 4-year-old can build it, so it doesn't look the best. In a set made for 4-year-olds, I think this is very adequate and it makes sense, but if you're coming to the set for a good pram, this is not where you're going to find that. And then finally, we have R5-D4, which is the only new figure here, and as of January 2025, exclusive figure to this set. And I can't tell you that I personally feel any sort of strong way about R5-D4, but I know there are people out there that specifically collect astromech droids and of course more broadly minifigures, and so this will of course be a must-have for people like that. And like I alluded to earlier, it might convince some people to throw $30 at this that really shouldn't otherwise. But I'd say it's a pretty solid figure selection for a 4+ set. You got a little something for the collectors there, and of course for a 4-year-old, anything is good, I guess. But yeah, this is really good for a 4-year-old. Looking at everything included here, the N-1 Starfighter is pretty clearly going to be the worst part of this set to many people, but for the intended audience of a 4-year-old, maybe this works. Maybe this is good enough in this case. It's just a really brutal looking build, and so let's get everything else out of the way there for a moment. Even that, you know, that stuff just falls off. I just like accidentally barely touched it and it falls off. This backside has fallen off quite a few times on me. Like it's just connected with a few studs at the back. So I would say, you know, this stuff up here seems pretty strong. These are like on the Technic piece so that they can't really fall off. Like they just get turned out of position and then you just push them back. So the build for this one is a little bit weaker than I had anticipated, mostly on the backside, but it definitely was something I did not expect, that just you would have a piece like that falling off so constantly, and I would imagine it will just get lost with many young kids. I'm not gonna lie, when you zoom it in like this, I mean, that looks like a World War II fighter plane, but the highlight on this set has to be the printed part that's right there. It's one of 2 printed parts. You've got that, and then you've got a control panel on the inside of the cockpit. It's not a new control panel design, same one we've seen, but of course this up here is new. If we compare that to the larger $60 N-1 Starfighter, they use a sticker there. So it's nice that they bring the quality for the 4-year-olds, and the real reason that they do this, I guess, is so that a 4-year-old doesn't have to apply a sticker, but at the same time, couldn't they have just left a gray piece there and then decreased the price of this set by $10? Isn't that how that works, basically? Anyway, you're not going to find any functionality built into the weapon system. There's no like spring-loaded shooters or stud shooters anywhere on this build. The fun of this set is of course going to be the swooshability of it and the fact that you can put Mando in the pilot seat and Grogu behind him. So let me show you how that's done. Mando is a much more traditional connection there. Also, unlike in the larger set, you don't take his jetpack off to place him in there, which makes sense. Like little kids don't need to be doing all that. So you just place him in and he's in. I think he looks pretty nice there. The Grogu is a little bit different. So if we lift this up on the back, there's actually no stud at the bottom for Grogu to attach to. So he's just going to go loose in there. And that is completely different than what we saw in the 2022 bigger model. You have a stud at the bottom. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't put a stud down there. They could have used the same piece that just has a stud in the middle and he would attach in there. But instead he's just loosely placed in there. I don't know if it's done like this because 4-year-olds would have a tough time putting him on and taking him off. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to me though, because Mando attaches to studs, so I don't really see the difference. And then you end up with a Grogu that's going to rattle around and get displaced and look really weird. But having Grogu not attached technically could be seen as a play function to a little kid. See, like he literally completely comes out of there. It's actually insane that it's like that. So I don't know why they didn't put a stud there, other than maybe they were trying to make this into like a fun way for kids to shake them model around. But otherwise, I just don't see why you wouldn't have a stud there. The other kind of imaginative play element here is going to be your fueling station, which is a nice simple build, but I think it's really cool. I think it's probably my favorite part about this set. You can remove it from the top, and then you can actually attach it to R5D4's head, and you can have him fuel up the N-1 Starfighter, which is really fun. There's not like a specific spot that you attach the fuel pump to or anything. It's just something that's included. It doesn't work the best either because this thing always just ends up falling over or something, but I think for a 4-year-old, it's passable. It just doesn't really meet a super high quality mark to me. It doesn't feel like it's super nice because it's only 4 pieces, so it's super light. So it's got a couple like small issues there, but again, all of these are avoided by the fact that a 4-year-old is supposed to be playing with this, and they usually don't care about little things like that. I've always felt like the word scam is overused and definitely misused by the LEGO community at large, but $30 definitely makes me start to feel like it's a scam. I mean, it's definitely not the textbook definition, but by God, $30 is absurd on this. And I think the pricing on something like this is made to take advantage of the fact that a 4-year-old's not buying it. You or I are probably not buying it. Someone's grandma and grandpa are buying this, and it's the one set that's for the little grandson that they have that's in that age bracket, and he really likes Star Wars and Baby Yoda, and so they're going to buy the set that's for 4-year-olds that has Star Wars and Baby Yoda, and that is where this set is going to make its millions. Like, it's just the way it works, I think. Like, obviously, there's some collectors that'll want R5D4. Anyone else already has that Mando and Grogu because you bought the Microfighter, or you just have any of the other sets that have that combination of figures. Like, those are not hard ones to come by. So while I think the, like, overall package is probably a decent play set for a 4-year-old, I think the pricing is, again, made to take advantage of those that would be buying for a 4-year-old and wouldn't have the knowledge of, like, what other LEGO Star Wars sets cost or what's good value in a LEGO set. You know what I mean? Like, grandma just doesn't care. When my grandma bought me things when I was a kid, I'm sure she just bought the thing that I asked for Christmas and didn't really think about it. And like, I'm just sure that's how it works, and that's why it's priced so absurdly. So $30, don't buy it. I think as a set for 4-year-olds, it's pretty good. It's like an 8 out of 10. As an overall LEGO Star Wars set, value for money included into this rating, it's like a 2 out of 10. It's a really brutal one. There's no reason you should want this if you have the ability to do multiplication. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments section below. I'm sure most people don't think very highly of it. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. You can check out other LEGO Star Wars 2025 set reviews of much better sets, but still expensive, on the end screen now.